little birdie told me that you need to set up a local repo on your Raspberry Pi and you don't know how. Don't worry, I got you. So there are two ways that you can do this, and you can either create the repo on GitHub first or create the repo on your Raspberry Pi first. The easiest way to do this is that you can first set up the GitHub repo on github.com. First, go to github.com. If you don't already see a button to create a new repository, then just go ahead and click on your little icon or avatar and then click repositories. Next, click on new, give it a unique name and a description. Choose whether you want it to be public or private. Choose whether or not you want a README file. A README file is helpful if you have a public repository and you want people to learn more. It's also good for any other documentation or setup that might be related to the code. Next, choose whether or not you want to have a .gitignore file. This is going to be a file that tells Git to ignore certain files, and it helps you to prevent uploading your secret keys or API keys to your repository. Finally, you can choose whether or not to give a license to the repo. The license determines whether or not other people are allowed to use your code and under what circumstances. Licenses can be used to restrict people from using your code for commercial uses. When you're just starting out, you don't need to add a README or .gitignore or a license. And if you don't do all of those things, GitHub helps you out. So go to the repository that you just created, scroll down, and then you'll see that GitHub has given you a list of Git commands to help you set up your repository locally. This is great because this is exactly what we need to get started on a Raspberry Pi. But first, we're going to set up our SSH keys. I know you're really mad at me right now because I told you that this is going to be easy, but I'm going to walk you through this, okay? So you have to stay here. On your Raspberry Pi, open up a new terminal and change directory to your home directory. You can do this by typing into the terminal cd space tilde. So the tilde is a special character that signifies your home directory or home/username. Now make a new directory called .ssh. You can do that by typing mkdir space .ssh. If at any time you want to see what files or folders are in the current directory, you can go ahead and type ls. You can also use ls space -a to list all files and folders in the current directory, including hidden files and folders. To create a new SSH key, we're going to follow the GitHub documentation. First, change directory again and go into the .ssh folder that you just created using cd space .ssh. So go ahead and type ssh-keygen space -t ed25519 space -C space double quotes, your email address, and then end double quotes. It will ask you what to name the file. I named mine raspberry-pi-github. This will generate a public key and a private key. The public key will have a file name ending in .pub. Next, you'll need to copy the public key so that we can add it to our GitHub account. To copy the public key, go to your file manager and navigate to your .ssh folder. Open the pub file by right-clicking on the .pub file and selecting Text Editor. Select the text and right-click to copy. To add the SSH key to the SSH agent, you need to go into the terminal and type ssh-add space tilde /.ssh/ the name of your private key file. In GitHub, go to your settings and click on SSH and GPG keys. Click on the button that says New SSH Key. Add a title, select Authentication Key, and paste the public key into the text box. Click Add SSH Key. Once you've added the SSH key to your SSH agent and you've added the SSH key to GitHub, you can check to make sure that the SSH key has been added correctly. You can check to make sure that you've set up your SSH keys correctly by typing SSH space -T space git@github.com into the terminal. If it's working properly, you'll see a congratulatory message saying that you've connected to GitHub. Next, go back to your repository and click on the green button that says Code, and under the header clone, select SSH. Then copy the URL to your clipboard. Back in your terminal, navigate to your Documents folder. Do this by changing directory using cd space tilde /documents. And now that you're in the Documents folder, go ahead and type git space clone space and then paste the URL that you just copied. You should see all the files downloading and a success message at the end. In your file manager, navigate to your Documents folder and then you'll see a new folder for your repo. And you're all done! I'm so proud of you! I know that using Git on the command line is difficult sometimes, but it was completely worth it. Now you can commit and push any changes that you make on your Raspberry Pi to your GitHub repo.